Hello, guys. Today we are going to read one book, and that book is this Truth Without Apologies. This is my one of my favorite books in this year, and I read this book once times, and this is my second times to read this books, and I'll tell you how what is this, what kind of book this is. First, I'm telling you the titles, the name, which is Truth Without Apologies. I guess for me, it's a meaning of speaking the truth without excuses, or maybe lame excuses, we can call it, or compromise kind of. And who should read these books? I'll tell you who. um I guess the people who is seeking self understandings and clarities, or maybe those persons who have a tired of a fear or pretense and social pressures or peer pressures. Those persons should be read these books. And and readers also interest in practical spirituality also, and who anyone who prefers direct and honest thinkings. Most of there is no sugar coated at all, there is nothing like that. It should be direct thinking, direct statement. So this is book for this, I think, direct statement, honesty, kind of. Having said that, uh, anyone who prefers, having said that, not idle, readers, if reader looking only for light, or motivations or stories, then it is not, because in this book there is no story, nothing like that. This books urges readers to stop living to please society. uh, Nowadays it happens, it's a trending, people says those things which makes them, feel light, feel not light, feel please them. So I guess this is not book for them. I guess the readers to stop living to please society, face inner fears, honesty, and choose clarity over comforts. It emphasizes about self-awareness, courage, and inner freedom also. So this is book, all of the, I guess this is book, Truth Without Apologies by Acharya Prasant. So I think this is not too much thin. We have just, I guess. Uh, we have it just 350 pages. Now you can see that 350 only pages. So without wasting further time, we will start reading, and I hope you will also enjoy it. If you can see this front pages, so yeah. Truth Without Apology for those tired of sweet lies, by Acharya Prasant. Wow, interesting. So this is the content. We have a 70, but more than 70 chapters. We have a how many chapter? We will count it. I guess there are there are 342 pages. Wow, it's not thin, it's not bulky, I guess. So this is the introductions part, and so I have this highlighter. I do use this highlighter while reading it, because I really like to jot it down some line, some important line which I really like to, after reading, and then after which I'll use it in my day to day conversations. So let's see. So yeah, so this is the introductions. This book is not here to entertain or soothe. It is meant for the readers who has begun to see the cost of self descriptions. Truth Without Apology is not a gentle invitations, but a direct encounter. Every page confronts the reader with a sharp clarity. Every line is meant to expose, not embellish. What you hold in your hands is not a polished theory or a self help guide. It is a series of pleachings illuminations. Most human suffering is not due to lack of information or opportunity, but due to our stubborn loyalty to lies, the lies we inherit, the lies we tell ourselves, the lies we decorate in the name of culture, ambitions, pleasure, relationship, even virtue. What happens when someone stops negotiating with these lies? What remains when all that is a false is no longer allowed to hide behind social justifications or emotional excuses? This book is for those ready to confront these cautions and more. It doesn't offer a method, it does not ask for your belief, it simply lays bare the workings of the mind and the mechanism of self descriptions with the kind of precisions we are often too scared to seek. The clarity it points to is not the product of imaginations or traditions. It arises when one is willing to observe honesty without filters, without defense, without escapes. The topic are wide-ranging: fear, ambitions, love, loneliness, desire, self-worth. But the movement is a singular, a movement towards clear seeing, not thinking, not hoping, not reacting, just just seeing. And once we really see, change no longer feels like an effort, it becomes inevitable. Some readers may find these insights unsettling. That's because the inner house we live in is constructed out of avoidance of pain, avoidance of uncertainties, avoidance of inquiry. What this book offers is not comfort, but the courage to face discomfort for the sake of something real. It is a reminder that anything worth having must come at the cost of illusions. But there is no cynicism here, no bitterness. The tone is neither harsh nor indulgent. There is a love here, though not the kind the world is used to. This is a love that does not pamper or flatter, has no interest in making you feel temporarily better. It's a kind of love that burns down what is a false so that the truth may breathe. It may look like a severity from the outside, but those who stay long enough will sense it's a tenderness. There are no technique to master, no path to chart out. The reader is simply being invited to pause and observe, to examine their decisions and their patterns, their hidden fear, their daily compulsions, and in that honest looking to taste the possibility of living differently. Peace does not come from hoping, wishing, or waiting. It comes from seeing things as they are and dropping what doesn't serve that scene. This book is a mirror. Whether the reader chooses to look or turn away is entirely their freedom. But one should know what is avoided today quietly becomes one's master tomorrow. And if one dares to look honesty even once, they may find that freedom was never as far as seemed. Okay, so this is the lie called you. Okay, so guys, this is our first chapter. You exist in their eyes. So there is a quotations is written here: reducing dependencies, finding your authentic self. That is the key of living fearlessly. When you blindly accept what the world says about you, you hand it power. You make the world your judge and your master. The way our species has evolved, the way we are born, We lack a direct vision of ourselves. We cannot see ourselves inwardly, so we rely on others. We look at ourselves through their eyes, and the moment we do that, we become enslaved. Our very sense of existence now depends on them. Terribly, yes, but true. Where there is independency, there must be a fear. Is it still a mystery why we are afraid of others? It's not a personal shortcomings, it is the universal consequences of a psychological dependency. If you want to live without fear, you must investigate your dependency. Ask, where have I outsourced my sense of worth? Cooperation is a beautiful, collaboration is necessary, but existentially, dependency is a bondage. A business needy raw materials in a nature, but the mind needing approval to feel worthy. That is the sickness. The body can be part of society, and you can live among people, work with them, speak with them, but can you do all that while being inwardly free? Why not? Why must reluctantness come at the cost of your sovereignties? Why must love come bundled with a fear? It is possible to be among others yet not belong to them. Possible to listen, you not be a swept. Possible to seek a feedback with your humanities, you yet not be possessed by it. That is a real fearlessness. Okay, so this is the second chapter. Why do people show off? So there is the quotation. It's a long, but I think it's a very nice quotations. So the exhibitionist mind seeks validations through others' approval, turning life into a constant display of positions poisonous and relationship. The need to show off betrays a deeper insecurity, a life lived for external apology, apology, never for inner strength or freedom. You go to a shop to buy clothes. What do you look for? Good to touch, good to wear, and must look expensive, must not look cheap. That's how you pick a shirts, right? And when you choose a husband or a wife, it is the same checklist. Good to look at, feels comfortable around me, and doesn't look cheap when we walk together. It is the same mind at work. Observe yourself in a garments of there you will see the story of your life. If you are an exhibitionist choosing clothes a little lower neckline, a bit higher on the thin, you will be the same with partners. See my new puppy, I mean my new boyfriend. Or hey, don't you fancy my trophy a wife? People display their cars, they display their houses, they display their lovers, they display their babies. It's all one continuous marketplace of validations. What is the exhibitionist mind? It has lost the capacity to look directly at itself. It sees itself only through borrowed eyes. Its self-worth hangs on what others says. It lives a duplicated second-hand life. If others phrases it, it feels worthy. If others scorn it, it collapses. This is a terrible slavery, running breathless after the approval of strangers, and the saddest part, this celebrity is self chosen and entirely unnecessarily. One could instead choosing strength, one could choose independency. Freedom is a far more joyous and than any borrowed apologize. This is the chapter 3. To know yourself, watch yourself. So again, here is also quotations about this chapter, who you really are is shown not by what you claim but by what you pursue, what occupies your mind, and what you commit to. If you truly want to discover who you are, don't start by asking philosophical questions. Start with the facts. Start with observations, not of the world but of yourself. See where your time goes. See what repeatedly fills your thoughts. See what kind of work earns your money. See where that money is spent. See what your heart secretly longs for. See what you avoid and see what you are afraid to lose, and you will begin to know who you are, not in theory but in truth. We all carrying respectable self images. I'm spiritually, or I care about justice, or I want to grow. But look closely. Most of these are aspirational claims, not honest confessions. The ego wants to appear involved, but identity is not revealed by what you say you want, it is revealed by what you actually chase. You are not your declared values, you are your lived patterns, where your feet walk, where your eyes lingers, what keeps you restless at night. These are the true indicators. These are your teachers. To know yourself, don't look at what you celebrate, look at what you tolerate. Don't look at what you post, look at what you protest. Don't look at your wishes, look at your compulsions. The honest self observer begins to see, I am not what I thought I was. I am a deeply conditioned. My fears, cravings, and attachments runs deeper than I admit. This seeing is a painful, but it is also the beginning of freedom. Knowing yourself does not mean building a better image. It means watching the faults on one crumples. So don't be in a rush to change yourself. First, be silent and watch. Let the truth emerge raw, unfiltered. To know yourself is not to create a self, it is to become aware of how much of you is borrowed, automatic, and forced. To know yourself, watch yourself. Honesty, repeatedly, reluctantly. This alone is the beginning of a real spiritual life. So, this is the chapter for self love, isn't it? Self lies. Quotations. Self love is not about feeling good, but about being ruthlessly true to oneself. Self awareness is a self love, self indulgence is a self deception. Truth rarely feels good. It cuts, it exposes, it demoralizes comfort. Let the world chatter. People are entitled to their noisy opinions. So, your accent, your skin, your clothes, your voice, these are externals, and let them say what they will. But when it comes to your fundamental worth, your very being, absolutely no one has the right to pronounce judgment, not even your closest ones. That is a scared space. Guard it fearlessly. Only one entity can know you for what you really are, that and that is you, but not as your own advocate. Be your own strictness examiner, honest, uncompromising. When you do that, the world's judgments, whether apologies or ridiculous, lose their grip on you. Next time someone flatters you, do not swell. Next time someone criticizes you, do not shrink. But are just flickers at best, raw data, not truths. not verdicts, just feedback which may be useful or usually irrelevant. Do not hang your senses of self on their seeking strange. Uh, that is that is a self-love, not softness, not sugar, not fears, awareness, reluctance, honesty. The fearless liberty joys of self-awareness. So this is the five chapter. Your life is the mirror. Quotations is a written here. Observe your own life and okay. Observe your own life and you will know the truth. We live in a furious haste, uttering observed in distractions, really pausing to observe the one things that truly matters. Our own life isn't it initially to relieve the mind of its constant preoccupations, to give it space, silence, and sincerities, so it may finally see itself with clarity. Ask yourself, what exactly are you doing and why? Why this restless, reluctanceless noise? This gawning restlessness, this dual boredoms. Why do you remain confused, insecure, constantly hungry for company? Why does even the whisper of solitude unsettle you? Why does the future invoke nothing but a sea show of hope and fear? Have you ever truly loved? Do you even begin to understand what it means to live? These aren't abstract philosophical riddles, these are urgent, concrete cautions bleeding through your everyday lives. Unless you are deeply asleep or constantly flee from yourself, this caution will arise. You have accepted a certain pattern as the norm, but why? Why not examine it with honesty and intelligence? Why not turn inward with the same sharpness you apply to the world? This is your life, your own fleeting, precious life. Observe it not through society's lens, not through the prism of borrowed values. Observe it with naked awareness. See what you chase, what you fear, what you compulsively repeat. No excuses, no drama, just direct perceptions. That is your deepest responsibilities. And when the mind begins to observe itself truthfully, something shifts. Not the cheap thrill you mistake for happiness, but the deep joy of clarity arise, not excitement, but vitality, not comfort, but liberations. That clarity is your highest possibility, and nothing, not your past, not your suffering, not your beliefs, should be allowed to take it from you. So that's it. Thank you.